Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, what's up? I'm Destiny Taylor. Please don't forget to turn on your notifications as well as subscribe and join the XO gang before you dip out of this video today. So just a quick disclaimer, if you see me looking here and not here, that is because for the first time in what feels like eons, I am filming on my phone camera, and specifically my front facing camera, because I'm going to use this as a mirror. So yeah, I'm really excited for this video today. I have not done a tutorial in so long just because I have just not been in the spirit to really experiment with my hair. I found my couple of styles that I really like, and I do them over and over again. I feel like they fit me, they're easy to maintain, I love them, and that's my twist outs, my Bantu knots. I have been wearing this like really chic top knot situation going on, and I may come with a tutorial on that, or no, actually for that I'm just going to post that on my Instagram because it's so simple. So follow me on Instagram. But this style right here is one that I have been wanting to try for like ever. It's fairly easy and it's fairly simple. So it's not totally done. I left out 2 braids so I can come on here and show you guys the process. I'm going to start with the tutorial now, and once I get done with the tutorial, I am going to share with you things that I've learned or realized throughout doing this style that you'll want to keep in mind as you are doing your style. So yeah, let's just get into this video. My loves, let's get into this tutorial. I am going to show you this process 3 times, and I highly suggest you watch every time because you'll learn something new each time. So the hair that I am using is the Freetress Water Wave. Now you'll need 7 packs of this hair. I have all of the information down below on this hair and the different colors that I used in the description box. So I'm starting with 2 pieces. I distressed the hair so it's not so uniform, especially since we are doing these very bohemian distressed butterfly locks. I'm grabbing my latch and hook needle, putting the needle through the base of the braid, hooking the hair on to the needle, closing the latch. I pulled it through. Now what I'm going to do is grab my braid on the base piece that I'm going to use, that's going to stay stationary as I wrap the other piece around. And this stationary piece that I am not wrapping around, this is shorter than the piece that I am wrapping around. So I'm starting by just wrapping the hair 3 to 4 times around the base, and I'm doing this very tightly, and I'm using my thumb and my index finger to help me keep that hair in place. That's very important to have that solid base. And then I'm going to go around and just wrap this piece around that base, and again my hair is attached to this stationary piece. So I wrap pretty tightly at the top, and now that I'm about to the middle, I'm just going to start loosely and messily wrapping the hair around so I can get a distressed look. And this is one of the methods that I use to get this nice distressed look. I played around with where the distressing started. I didn't want it to all start at the top, at the middle, or at the end, just because I wanted it to, my hair to lay very flat, and I didn't want it to be so uniform. So I used a bunch of different methods. And then once you are at the end, once your wrapping piece is short and there's no more to wrap, I'm just going down and I'm measuring to see if that's where I would like my hair to stop. If it wasn't, I'd just grab a piece from that stationary side and I'd wrap it around. And then what I did was just flip the hair up and started to wrap the hair upward. And you'll see that again in the other parts. And I'm just very messily wrapping upward And yeah, we have our first lock. So to seal this, I am going to grab some nail glue. You'll definitely need this. I see in some tutorials people don't use it, but honestly, if I were to just let this go, this would unravel. So I just put a little bit of glue in and I just continue to wrap it around. And since a lot of the hair came out at the bottom, I'm just going to wrap that up individually versus cutting it, and then I'm going to grab the glue again to seal that piece. And voila! Our first lock is finito. Isn't that gorgeous? Absolutely stunning. I am so happy I did this style. And by the way, this is definitely one of those styles where you just start and you figure out what method works for you as you continue to do your hair. So doing the process again, I latched and hooked the hair through the base of my braid. I wrapped 3 or 4 times around the base, and for this one I started making it distressed quite early. So again, just for this method that I'm doing here, I'm just very loosely wrapping the hair around, and once you do this style, you'll understand what I mean. Don't worry if this part of the tutorial is too fast. I do slow down on the third part, and you can see here more detailed how I flipped that up. Grabbing the glue, wrapping this around, and it's nice and sturdy. And I love this because every single lock has so much character in its own style. They don't come out uniform at all. So for this last piece, the start of it is going to be sped up because it's what I've shown you, looping the hair through. And again, I am holding my braid with the stationary piece that I'm going to hold in place as I wrap the other piece around. I wrapped it 3 or 4 times around the base. Now look at this part. So you see I started distressing. Pay attention to my thumb here. This is called the thumb method. So I'm just using my thumb to distress this piece. Now this is something that I saw on a few YouTube videos that when I started, I didn't know how to do it when I was trying to be intentional with it. But as I was doing this style, it's something like a rhythm that just came like to my fingers, to my body. So I guarantee that that will work for you. So if you're frustrated, if you like the way that this looks, but you're frustrated when you do your own hair, just know that as you work your way to completion, you'll just naturally pick it up. So just going and continuing to wrap the hair. As you can see, I took some hair from the stationary piece. And then I'm just wrapping this upward. And grabbing that nail glue. Wrapping this around, and it's nice and in lock and secure. So yeah, that was a tutorial, but definitely watch the video to the end because now I'm about to share advice that's going to help you do a successful install. So my hair is finally all done. I am very excited. So to start, I just want to mention that it's really important whether you are doing your own style or if you are going to a beautician to do your braids. It's really important for you to make sure your hair is prepped the right way. So we want to wash, we want to deep condition, we want to detangle, we want to hydrate with any type of leave-in conditioners or oils, and also it's really nice to make sure your ends are looking nice and looking right, and we want to seal them. So before I installed my hair, I did all of that, and I also trimmed my own ends and I sealed my ends with oil because I'm going to have the style in for at least 3 weeks, and my ends, guys, they're like very brittle. They can split super easy, so I don't have to worry about them being stressed out while they're up in this style. That's why it's protective. So yeah, if you're interested to know what products I use or my routine for prepping my hair for my braids, my crochets, my sew-ins, my wigs, just let me know down below in the comments and I will get that for you. One product that I do want to mention that I used while parting and braiding my hair is the Jam Extra Hold Gel. Now Jam is, I don't have it with me right now, it's at my grandmother's, but Jam is like a very moisturizing gel. It says Extreme Hold. It's like a pomade, but it doesn't like hold your hair like a hairspray would or like a regular gel, but it does a really great job. I like using Jam when I'm trying to get nice and slick parts and when I want the base of my braids to look really nice and neat. So again, you don't want to use Jam if you're going to brush your hair up and put it into a ponytail, but it's great for parting as well as doing any of your braiding styles. It will look nice and uniform. So yeah, my hair is all done. I am very excited. I am loving the results. I can say that when I started installing these butterfly locks, as well as when I finished my round last night, I was a bit nervous. I didn't really think the style fit me much, and for two reasons which I was able to fix. One is I had a very blunt cut, so just no shape at all. It was very flat around my face and then blunt and bulky at the bottom, which I don't think was the most flattering for my facial structure, which is very long and oval. So I'm used to having some type of movement, and I was able to achieve that by going through and cutting quite a few, making them shorter. And then also I had started using a lot of hair because I did intend to do larger parts. So in the back, as you can see, and I'll insert a clip, my parts are way larger than my parts in the front. This is just how it turned out because, you know, parting hair is all math, and if you don't do this a lot, you're gonna have a difficult time getting that perfect you know, parting ratio from the back to the front. My parts in the front are way smaller. I started by using 3 pieces in the back, and they look smaller because I had gone in and either I cut it and I unraveled it a bit so I can have less hair in here, or I took another piece and wrapped it tightly so it can shrink a bit. But these were big, like 2 of these, and that just wasn't the most flattering, and it made the ends of my hair with the blunt cut just look bulky, and I didn't like it much. I wanted my butterfly locks to be very distressed versus having that uniform clean look. So for a few of them, they were just way too distressed and way too bulky. So I went in and I cut a bit, cut the end so I could just unravel a lot of them, and I was able to get a result I'm very satisfied with. Something to note, I had a more difficult time with the ombre color, which I'll have all of the colors in all of the information on the hair down below in the description box. By the way, you will only need 7 packs, but if it's your first time doing this style, I recommend getting 8 just in case, because I had to open up an 8th pack to, you know, touch up the locks and redo some and all that jazz, but I digress. I was talking about, oh yeah, color. So the ombre color, I had a more difficult time working with that hair. I think because of the bleaching process that the hair has to go through, it just makes the hair more rugged and it gives it less body. So as you can see with the black hair, if I separate it, let's say from right here, it separates nicely, and the curl is still very uniform. It's very shiny, and I can even go in and do it a few more times. And as you can see, the hair still keeps that shine and that uniformity. But if this were to be an ombre piece, this right here would be super frizzy. As you can sort of see, no, that's not it. Maybe this, no, I fixed that one. I think I fixed the ones with, oh, I see one. You can kind of see right here, the hair just got very nappy, so when I wrapped it, it just looked very rugged compared to something like this. But I fixed them so you can't really see. You can see quite a bit here actually. So I would keep that in mind if you're using ombre hair. If this is your first time doing this style, I highly recommend just going with a solid color and going with one of this twist is significantly longer than all of them. That's okay. I strongly, highly recommend that you use one color, and specifically a 4 or less. And you can even do the burgundy color as well, but the blondes, you will have a more difficult time with that. So first time, definitely save yourself some time and some energy and use a darker color. What else do I have to say about this style so far? I'll come through with an update once I get back from my Jamaica trip. I'll do an update and I'll let you guys know how this style stayed up while I, did my outdoor activities and all of that jazz. Something I do want to mention that I kind of sucked at, the wrapping at the top. A lot of my wraps, as you can see for this one, slid down. So I'm guessing with time I'll figure out, this one stayed. I'm guessing with time I'll figure out how to make the wraps last. I also recommend you use 2 pieces. I wouldn't use 3 unless you want a very jumbo look. Also, I would say if you notice that your twists are larger than you want them to be, just twist a bit tighter. And also, there's no need to do small parts in your head. I would go larger than usual just because this is so much hair, and if I would have parted my entire head as small as it would be up here, just imagine how much more hair I would have on my head. And I know a lot of people don't like to be able to see, the parts when you have your faux loc, but when people have locks, you can see the part. It's not always, the lock isn't always the exact size of the part. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's a different format than what I usually do. If you have any questions about this style, comment down below and I'll answer those for you. And if there's another style that you would like me to try, comment that down below as well, because I'm just very much in this experimentative hair phase again, and I'm super happy to be here. So yeah, peace and love, babies.